I have a feeling that Canelo Alvarez is trying to take another page out of Floyd Mayweather's book and say, let me get the biggest fights in the world. Maybe not the most competitive fights, but the ones that are going to make a lot of money. Obviously, we could kind of kiss that David Benavidez fight away because, you know, Canelo has had the chance to make that fight, hasn't really showed that much interest, has said, you know, what has he really done in the sport of boxing? David Benavidez has said, you know, he's had the opportunity, been the mandatory for how long now? I'm not even thinking about Canelo Alvarez anymore. So that fight is kind of in the past. I guess people aren't really thinking about it. I still think about it because I really like that fight. I think it's a really competitive fight, and after seeing David Benavidez dismantle David Morrell not too long ago, it really made me think like, ooh, this is a really good fight for Canelo Alvarez, but more importantly, it's a big challenge. And, you know, back to what I'm saying about Floyd Mayweather, we know that he accomplished a lot, but he was also very strategic in picking his opponents. And I think that, you know, after you beat as many world champions as Floyd Mayweather has, you've earned the right to kind of choose your fights and take these kinds of exhibition fights. You know, when you're fighting Conor McGregor, you're fighting in Japan, you're making these exhibition events to, you know, make what Floyd calls a legalized bank robbery. And I think Canelo wants to do that himself. He's also earned the right to get kind of like free money at this point because he's put in the miles, he's put in all the hours, the days, the weeks in these training camps, and I think he deserves it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But obviously, you know, people within the boxing world are constantly going to say, like, it's an embarrassment to the sport when, you know, the cash cow, the main guy, the face of boxing is taking part in these exhibitions. So, you know, people don't like it. The boxing fans don't like it. Jake Paul was reportedly set to fight Canelo Alvarez. That fell through. Now the negotiations for Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez were set, and now we have a fight between these two, and that Canelo Crawford fight is back on. So, you know, that's a great thing to hear, but I still think that Jake Paul and Canelo are going to fight just because there's just too much money on the table, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately not because I hate Jake Paul. I don't hate Jake Paul. I just think that, you know, like, out of all the fights we could see Canelo Alvarez in, it could have been Conor McGregor, it could have been another UFC fighter, Kamaru Usman, someone who was actually like been in the combat sports world and done it for a living, that kind of earned it. Not that Jake hasn't been taking it seriously and working hard. I just feel like obviously, you know, he's gotten to a spot where, you know, so many professional boxers would love to be. They work multiple jobs and still can't do what Jake Paul did. And maybe that's just life. You know, that is the matter of the fact, you know, it's just how life is. It's not fair, you know, in general. So obviously, Jake Paul has done his own work. He's put in his own hours and has been a businessman to make it work out that way. But you guys know me. I like the real fights where I'm like, what's going to happen? And Jake Paul versus Canelo Alvarez doesn't make me think what's going to happen. Two things are going to happen. It's either Canelo's going to go at him and stop him basically whenever he wants, or they're going to have some, you know, behind the stage, you know, under the table deal where Canelo Alvarez agrees to not really hurt Jake Paul and they go the distance and they both walk out there millionaires. Either way, they walk out there millionaires. That's why I think the fight is still going to happen, even though they're saying that, you know, Canelo's saying that I don't fight, you know, fake fighters, YouTubers, I only fight real fighters. And I respect that, and I think that's going to happen for now. But once, you know, he retires or, you know, towards the latter end of his career, when he looks at that Jake Paul fight and people are sending him contracts, Turkey's talking in his ear about it, I think that it's a different story, and it's probably going to end up happening. And I think he's earned it. You know, I don't really care about it. You know, it doesn't get me excited as a fight with, you know, Canelo and Benavidez would, obviously, because that's real boxing. That's the best of the best right there. But I also understand it. I understand that there's like too much money on the table to walk away from an opportunity for both Canelo and Jake to fight each other, because Jake, you know, he may take the beating of a lifetime, but he's going to get rich doing it. Canelo Alvarez, this is basically not even a real sparring partner for him. And, you know, he's going to make quadruple what he's been making for an individual fight against a YouTuber. You know, you got to take that opportunity every day. So I feel like we can't really hate on Canelo for that, you know, grabbing his bag and making a lot of money in the sport. But definitely, you know, Floyd Mayweather was the pioneer for that, making these exhibitions, and, you know, it seems like Canelo's going to follow suit, in my opinion. But let me know in the comments what you guys think down below. Do you guys think Canelo and Jake Paul is going to happen? And who you guys got between Canelo and Crawford? You know, that fight's back on, so let me know down below. But thanks for watching. Catch you guys on the next video. Peace.